Feisties, I just wanted to let you know about something new that we just dropped, especially for triathletes. It's called the Feisty Performance Bundle. It's a combo of two of our most popular courses, giving you the tools you need to support all that training you do every week. In the bundle, you get Strong, our complete strength training course designed for women with a 16-week progressive program, easy to follow demo videos, and all the supporting resources you need to build up your strength training habit. We also spent some time talking about how you can add strength training into your other training and make it all work together. And you get Fueled, our expert-led nutrition course that helps you understand how to fuel your training and your life for energy, endurance, recovery, and performance without guesswork. So whether you're chasing your best performance, training for a big race, or you just want to feel, better, stronger, healthier, this bundle is made for you. It's all on demand, which means you can take the courses whenever you want, starting when you need, and created by experts who are also active women, so they understand what performance means. Right now, you can save $99 when you bundle both Strong and Fueled courses. Check it out at the link in the show notes to get them together, or go to learning.feisty.co. That's learning.feisty.co. All right, Feisties, welcome back. It's Kelly O'Mara. I'm here with Joanne Murphy, and we have a voice you know and love. Sid is back. Hi, Sid.
Hi, guys. It's good to be here. It's been a while since I've seen either of you or caught up to have a chat.
In person or otherwise.
In person or otherwise, exactly. Yeah, I was worried we were gonna forget to record for about an hour and just be nattering away with gossip and everything else.
We got 12 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly.
We did. I have to say, so far, everybody has been seriously disappointing in the gossip.
I know. I must up my game on that. I think I've kind of been, took a step back the last couple of years, so I'm out of the gossip loop.
Well, we are going to talk, not gossip. Well, maybe gossip. I was going to say, we will talk all the news. But first, Sid, I told you, we've been asking everybody, you've watched a lot of triathlon this year, you commentated a lot of triathlon. What is your pick for best result, best race so far this year?
Gosh. I mean, because I'm getting old, my memory is pretty shit. Sure. So I can't remember the beginning of the year. So I'm sure there was some great races at the beginning of the year, but I'm going to go with Hamburg and the women's race in Hamburg. Yeah. And that run from Laura and Kat and even Solveig Lofseth in third.
Sure.
And the rest of the field. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I felt confident you were going to say Roth. I was like, she's going to be like Roth.
I mean, yeah, Roth, but I didn't watch it. I was so far fucking back. I did get to see the front of the race. Laura was finishing as I still had 10K to go out to Buchenbach or not. And I could hear the crowds in the stadium and I went, it's definitely not the men because Ella finished a long time ago. And I'm like, oh, that's quite embarrassing. That's Laura finishing and I'm still heading out. So, I mean, Roth is the best race. No doubt. I'm sorry. And this year it was on steroids, and just everything. But yeah, if you're looking about actual racing, and I'm obviously going to say women's racing anyway. So yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. And then we were going to talk the races this past weekend. I know Joanne's all worked up about Swansea. Because she was in Swansea.
No, I don't want to talk about Swansea at all.
And she has binders worth of research she wants to share with us.
Ask me a question.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah, Swansea was awesome.
There was a point in Swansea because I was doing the Athletic Brewing post-race report and it showed on the bike course, I think Kat had just caught up to the front and they're going down this tiny little laneway in Wales. And I just said I said on the camera, I was like, and this is what we call a two-way road in the UK. It's just so tiny. And you guarantee
even a centre line on the road.
That's it. You're going to go around a corner and there's going to be a tractor or something.
I was looking for photos and there was pictures of horses just walking through the age groupers. And I was like, Yeah. You can see one of the guys, one of the age group men, trying to swerve out of the way to not hit.
But they don't move the cattle, and they do not move. They won't move for cars. They don't move for athletes. That was one of the things that was said at the briefing on Saturday. But it was the Gower, Mumbles, the whole area is absolutely beautiful. And the wild horses do roam the Gower. Like there's nothing, they can do about them. But I didn't get to see much of the coverage, I suppose, or the commentary, Laura, on the day, because we were kind of trying to watch it live, and you don't have a second between swim out, bike in, bike out, run, finish. And then it's interviews and then you're back on the finish line again for the rest of the athletes coming in. But it was a brilliant race. I think it lived up to all the hype, and I think for the first time ever, and I could be wrong, but do you ever remember a non-wetsuit pro swim for
in the UK?
Ever? I don't think I ever do.
Not in the UK, I don't think so. I would never have thought it with the
No. Yeah. It was, so the water temperature, I don't know what it is in American money, but it was 23.7 degrees Celsius. So it was just shy of being, so the age group athletes were wetsuit optional, but it was just shy of being wetsuit not allowed because it was so warm. But it changed the dynamic of the race a little bit, I guess, as well, because I had a chat with Daniela Kleiser. I caught up with her when we were walking across the sail bridge to the swim start, and she was like, "Oh, the water's going to be so cold. I'll be cold. I don't want to swim without a wetsuit." And she was saying that the trying to bridge the gap between what her swim will be now versus a wetsuit was going to be much bigger. But what a race she had. Absolutely insane. She ran a 1:14.31 and was 6.5 minutes faster than all the other women on the course on the day.
And Kat's not a slow runner.
No.
I do think Kat was probably not in full mode.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to throw him the ball. Yeah. I don't think Kat was because I think you saw at the press conference that when Daniela Kleiser said she was going to start off at 3:15 per K and Kat sort of said, bring it. I think if they'd have been in a foot battle, I think that would have been interesting. I think just Kat had that control. Sorry, he's now squeezing the ball.
Kat is off the back of those two big Ironman races, Texas and Hamburg, and she is all in on Kona. Kona is her ultimate goal. I think Swansea was a bonus win, but also she wanted the Pro Series points. So unless something happens in Lake Placid, depending on who wins in Lake Placid, Kat potentially will go into Kona as the leader of the Pro Series.
Yeah, I don't. I don't see anyone challenging Kat for that Pro Series title again, unless something bad happens in Kona for her.
Oh man. Sid is dog sitting, I feel like we have to say, and that is why there is excessive amounts of squeaky noises. And
it's not me, I promise. Yeah, so Kat was absolutely in control the whole way through. I mean, she was a little bit down on the swim coming in, but she bridged the gap on the bike, and then she was just dominant overall. I don't think there was any chance anyone was going to catch her. So for me, looking at the race from the outside, Daniela was very, very impressive. But also the other athlete that was really impressive was Rebecca Anderbury. She biked within 30 seconds of Kat in terms of time on the bike course. And then she was I think she was less than a minute down on the run course, I think, from recollection. But she really held on, and she held off the battle that was coming behind her between Daniela Kleiser and Anna Reichmann. And there was seconds between those two girls. There was a switch in the final, I think it was the final kilometer. On the tracker, it said Anne Reichmann was in third, and coming down the finish line was Daniela Kleiser. It was absolutely incredible. And there was a really stacked field, Laura. I mean, I think you'll probably remember when you raced in the UK last, we had only a handful of pros racing, but it was great to have the Pro Series and to have the coverage of that race internationally broadcast, I think, because what the Welsh support is like. It's absolutely insane, and the location is stunning.
Yeah, I've always said that, after Roth, I think Wales is the best for supporters and stuff, and they do come out. And I think you're right, with it being the Pro Series, I think it really elevated racing in the UK. Interesting in contrast, it was the European Championships the weekend before, which wasn't in the Pro Series. Don't know why. It should have been. It's a championship race, but anyway. That kind of apart from the fact it was that sprint finish, it kind of just has kind of been a bit of a non-event?
That's an interesting question. I didn't realize it wasn't in the Pro Series. I
Mm.
know like what gets broadcast is a very like puzzle piece, you know what I mean? And so maybe that's like part of the issue is that all the Pro Series need to be broadcast, and so they have to like puzzle piece together like what can, because you know what I'm saying? Like they have to figure out like who's going to be where and TVs and backup weekends and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
That is weird.
So yeah, all the Pro Series are broadcast, but I think also it's them deciding which races are in the Pro Series a little bit to get more visibility like on those races, so to get more athletes to go to the UK race, to go to Swansea and things like that.
And it was really good opportunity for some of the younger and up and coming pros as well to race. I mean, Hannah Monday has been around for a little while, but it was her pro debut. And she was first out of the water. So I think she's from Swansea. She's definitely Welsh, but it was great excitement on race day for her to be just out of the water in front. And that was her main goal, I think, was to be first out of the water, and then let's see how the race rolls after that. But yeah, it was super,
there were quite a few kind of debut pros from the UK, which was really good, I think, and gave them an opportunity to kind of race with some of the bigger names.
Yeah, we had one of our Irish girls, actually, Eve Clark. She's AOIBH is how you spell her name. Eve Clark, for those of you who are listening, not EVE. She raced her very first Ironman 70.3 as well, but she's a guide for our para athletes. So it was very exciting for her to do her debut in Swansea as well. And the heat was sweltering. I mean, it was so hot over there. So hot. Yeah. The coffee shop ran out of ice at 9 o'clock in the morning. So hot it was. No iced coffees.
Oh man, that sounds terrible. It's like I gather, yeah, everywhere's having a heat wave except for here, and I just keep hearing about it and being like, oh, that sucks for you.
Yeah.
Our heat wave is definitely gone. It was raining today. Our heat wave's gone. Yeah.
But I will say, yeah, to your point, I do think Kat, I mean, Pro Series is going to be hard to touch her, but she's all in on Kona. Definitely right now, my heavy pick for Kona. I know, like, you can't count out Lucy. I know, like, Taylor's going all in. Like,
well, you've also got Julie Deron now.
Right, now you have Julie Deron, who just won Ironman Victoria by however much. And, of course, the big thing out of Ironman Victoria is Anne Hogg did not finish. And so Anne still needs to validate.
So does Chelsea Sodaro.
I know. And so they're both validating, I think, in Kalmar now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So one chance.
Incredible race.
This must be the last year Anne has to validate. I mean, I would imagine she may retire at the end of this year anyway. That is not, I haven't heard that. I am
wild rumor.
Wild rumor speculating. Because this is that last year to validate for her. And then after that, she'll have to qualify. But yeah, both Anne and Chelsea still need to validate in Kalmar.
Yeah, which is the last chance. I don't know what happened. Anne pulled up 10K into the run. I'm assuming it's the same run niggle that DNF'd her earlier this year, but no one, I mean, she hasn't said, no one knows for sure. So.
And I know Chelsea was going to do Placid, but obviously isn't on the start list now anyway. So I think she's been dealing with a calf niggle as well.
So. Yeah. I love how everyone says niggle. And niggle ranges from like, oh, I kind of like my ankle's a little sore, to like, oh, I broke my hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on which athlete you speak to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here at Feisty, we're excited to be teaming up with Xterra to help get more women onto the trails and into off-road triathlon. Xterra offers a full schedule of off-road triathlons all around the world, from super sprint to Olympic distance, youth races. Their events feature open water swimming, mountain biking, trail running, with a focus on the welcoming community and beautiful destinations. And I want to be clear, anyone can do an Xterra. You can do an Xterra. Even if you've never mountain biked before, other athletes are ready to get you to that finish line and are even known to offer a helping hand during races. In fact, we'll be doing a series of Feisty podcasts and videos with some tips and ways to get started. Stay tuned. You'll also recognize some of the most iconic names in triathlon who got their start in Xterra. Flora Duffy, Mel McQuaid, Leslie Patterson. And next year, the World Championship race will return to the US with a new home in New Mexico. And most importantly, Xterra offers equal prize money, recognition, and spots to that World Championship. So if you're looking for a new adventure, hit the dirt and find a race to try at xterraplanet.com. That's XTERRA planet.com.
Regular listeners of Feisty podcasts will not be surprised to learn that for decades, running shoes have been researched, tested, and designed for men. Brands have relied on the shrink it and pink it approach to sell male shoes to female customers. But women's feet differ from men's in numerous ways. We have increased toe splay, higher arches, a more narrow heel, a lower ankle bone, upward angled toenails, and a rounded instep that is smaller in circumference. And because of all those differences, that is why we need HEDAs. HEDAs has unlocked the science behind women's biomechanics through dedicated research and creates running shoes specifically designed for women. So that means a lower heel collar to reduce rubbing on women's ankle bones, plate design to provide heel stability and to decelerate foot impact, rounded instep creating a snug fit through the middle to match the curvature of a woman's foot. Every feature is designed to give you more power and less problems. Breathability that lets your feet breathe easily mile after mile, plus fast drying tech that doesn't allow sweat to slow you down, adaptive stretch that molds to your foot like it was made just for you. I personally have been running in HEDAs for over 2 years, and from the first time I tried them, I knew that there was something different. They really felt like they were made for me. The shoes are super light but provide good cushioning, and they really support my very high arches. I honestly didn't think I would notice the difference after running for so many years in male model shoes, but I really did. So, try HEDAs for yourself today. Go to hedas.com and use the code STAYFEISTY for 20% off. That is Stay Feisty for 20% off at hedas.com. The link will, as always, be in the show notes.
Have you seen one of the Instagram try meme accounts that started an injured reserve list for all the pros who are injured and is trying to like keep track? He makes like a spreadsheet. And I was like, guys, you are never going to be able to keep track. Like it's never going to it's too many. It's everyone. Just say everyone.
Yeah. And do you think that, I mean, like, do you think that is just a consequence of how many races were on the calendar last year and everyone trying to do anything and racing going later and starting earlier? And we're just kind of seeing that. Yeah.
I think it's some of that. I also think the whole, like, being a professional athlete is not good for your health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you're always, like, riding that line of...
Yeah.
But there's so much travel as well when you think about it. Like, it's not just, you know, it's hard enough to travel from one side of America to the other. I mean, I traveled from one end of Europe to the other. But then when you're traveling, like, over and back, you're around the world. That's not good for your... For your, what is it? How do you pronounce the word? Your circadian rhythm. Well, sleeping. And then you're putting your body on the line, but pretty much every time you race.
I know we're mainly focused on the women, but Matt Hansen, who's racing Placid this weekend, is his third full distance in 5 weeks, plus travel to and back Australia, to and back Europe, and now Placid. But I mean, he's a bit of a unique being anyway. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I think, well, like, we keep being like, oh, we'll see how it shakes out, right? Like, how everybody does. The other big race this past weekend was the WTCS Hamburg. And it looked very exciting, I will say. I know we talked last week a bunch about the German crowds are crazy. They are crazy. I want to know, does anyone know if the French are so good and they're crazy because Leonie Perriot won, Sandra Bergin was second, why did they not win the mixed relay? What happened?
I didn't see the mixed relay well enough, but I think the mixed relay tends to, I don't know. If I think about to Paris and the Olympics, the mixed relay can often be more of an individual time trial event. So that's where, like in Paris, that's why Taylor Knibb was so good, because she could just get on and pull the US up. Now, I didn't see the full dynamics of the race in Hamburg, but I mean, it just, you don't have to have, it's not necessarily having the 4 best individuals or the two of the best individuals. It's like, can you as a team deliver? You know, it's a bit like football or whatever. You don't necessarily need to have all the players, the best players, but if you can play the best as a team, you're going to come out on top.
Yeah, it's interesting because Australia won, and like Hauser obviously had like an amazing weekend, and I think like a crazy closing leg.
Yeah,
on the
really
relay.
did.
Unreal.
Yeah.
He bridged the gap and then he broke away completely.
I mean, Hauser's just on he's just flying high, and we're seeing the resurgence of Australian triathlon, which has been in the dark ages for the past however many years, since the likes of the 3Mers and the what, they've kind of not been on the map. So I think Hauser, with the season he's having on the men's side, and then them winning the mixed team relay. And if you look at it from Sophie Lynn and Emma Jesscoat, who were the women in that, Sophie Lynn's she's only just coming back to racing from having a break after Paris. And Emma's been injured and had her own sort of issues, and she's sort of just coming back to racing. So it's, an awesome team again, and it's the team and to see Australia kind of coming back to the triathlon powerhouse that they used to be.
And it was sorry, Kelly. It was also close as well. You know, there was only 3 seconds in the mixed team relay between Australia and France, and then 7 seconds between first and third. It was so fast.
Yeah.
So maybe the answer, why didn't France win, just came down to Matt had an amazing last 8 leg. It's always very close. I was about to say, is Sophie Lynn still working a full-time job at the same time she's racing? That is crazy.
Yeah. She's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, she. Who does she work for now? One of the
Garmin or Wahoo or one of
Wahoo, I think. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
right. So that was a cool race. Good to see. I do feel sometimes it's a different French woman every week.
Yeah,
I would really hate to have to try and make that team.
Yeah, the French are what the British team used to be a few years ago, and I guess with the Americans as well.
Yeah.
They've just got that. But that's also the remnants of the Olympics, having a home Olympics. You put that money into the development of the sport, and then you're going to get the repercussions going forward. I'm just constantly feeding my dog snacks, and he's still barking.
Oh, good. Okay. So you're saying after the LA Olympics, the U.S. is going to get really good at triathlon?
As they should be investing in their triathletes, Project Pathway, whatever it's called now. Podium, sorry. And that should then feed, if you look at London 2012 and then 2016 in Rio, actually Rio was a much better Olympics for the Team GB because they'd invested into London, but then that carried on over.
But I think it also raises the bar for the sport in terms of visibility.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of people will just turn on and watch the Olympics because they have an interest in sport, and they'll flick through the channels and they'll come across this crazy sport where people are swimming, cycling and running all in one go and doing it so quickly. And then it's well, maybe I can give that a go. And then suddenly you see an upsurge in people interested in triathlon. I mean, definitely the Paris Olympics were even though they weren't obviously as close as the London Olympics, the Paris Olympics for us definitely helped with an upsurge in general, I think, in terms of membership. And I know that in France, they definitely got more people doing triathlon in races. So it wasn't just even club membership. It was people just had more awareness about the sport. So
that's an interesting thing to say, that, you're going to get people turning on the Olympics to watch this sport of triathlon, which is really quick, albeit then lasts 4 hours in the T100. But the interesting piece about that, and we can go into more detail about the T100 bidding to be in the Olympics, I think the angle is about the participation piece.
You are skipping so many steps ahead, Sid.
Sorry.
What is she talking about?
I'm so excited. I haven't been on a podcast.
Right, we have to explain.
Sorry, anyway, go back. Yeah.
All right, so pause button.
Stop.
Go to an ad break.
Right, no. So pause button. The Olympics are happening in LA.
Yeah.
There's a rumor, or not a rumor, but it's whatever. The T100 is bidding to try and add 100K to the Olympics. One of the aspects of that rumor is that the Olympics wants to add more of these spectator mass participation events, like they had the marathon for all in Paris.
Yeah.
So then they could see a triathlon and then be like, oh, I want to do one, and do this 100K event. Now, okay, that's the explanation. Now we can discuss why I think it's insanely stupid.
Okay. No, but it just went on so well from what Joanne was saying about people switching on to watch the Olympics, this short distance super sprint relay, and we're now going to be watching people for 4 or 5 hours.
They did say women's triathlon is going to be the first medal at the LA Olympics. They released
pretty
the
cool.
schedule. Yes,
It's very cool. I definitely think we need to do a live Feisty podcast from LA.
Yeah.
I'm available.
Okay, good.
I can
We'll,
travel.
stay
I can
at-
travel.
Yeah. Well, like one of my best friends has like a house. We'll just like move in with her.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Right there.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
But yes, this rumor / hearsay, I don't know, that that T100 is making a bid for the Olympics. Now, it's not like it is a fact that they had a big meeting with World Triathlon in Hamburg. This was discussed as one of many things on like how T100 and World Tri can work together. World Tri has some challenges. That was part of this discussion. There was like a big report that came out that World Tri has like some financial challenges. So I think the T100 is part of how they're trying to figure out what to do about the fact that like cities aren't paying for World Triathlon races anymore. They don't know how they're going to fund, right? But whether or not 100K makes it to the Olympics, they're like, it's just not going to happen. It's just like not going to happen. Like I texted around to a bunch of people who are at that level, and they were just like, what are you talking about? Like this is because there is a cap on athletes. They don't add any more athletes. It's capped at 10,500. So they're not going to add like more athletes. Now, if there's if you were going to say, are the Olympic distance athletes going to then race 100K? That would be funny.
From the Nifty relay.
I did see somebody commenting on if the T100 distance got in the Olympics, would it be that like an Alex Yu would have to do this mixed team relay, the Olympic distance, and the full? And I was like, I think it's going to be different athletes. But yeah, you're right. With the cap
they
on the
won't.
Olympics.
That's why you see them adding all these like
Similar events. Yeah.
Right. Why they'll add like other like relays and other distances and team events because they want more medal events without adding more athletes. That's like a TV play. The second part is that the sports they are adding come from like they're like host country sports to try and attract young audiences. So we're talking shorter, not longer. They want things that are like more exciting, more like there'd be like way more likely that they'd add a super sprint than that they'd add 100K. And then on top of that, there's like a whole process. So it's not going to happen at a minimum until 32 or 38.
No, the aim, the goal is for Brisbane because it's Australia.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But it's like, but they would have already had to be starting. Like that would be an accelerated if they were already running test events.
Yeah.
And like showing it. So I'm just saying 100% not going to happen.
Kelly.
Completely ridiculous.
Today is the first time I've heard about this being right. I'm sitting here going, Kelly has thought about this.
She's
Cheering up. Like she literally has told me how the procedure happens to get the sport into the Olympics, and who can race and who can't. I mean, Kelly, what else is taking up your brain this week other than the T100 at the Olympics?
This annoyed me so much because this like rumor got posted on Instagram on Thursday or Friday. And I was like, I could just post random rumors to Instagram too. So then I wanted to, so this is why I got very annoyed about this.
So,
Joanne, I'm just going to
you want to tell us how you really feel?
So anyway, I could just start posting rumors. But yeah, there was a big World Tri meeting. World Tri is trying to figure out like how to make World Tri, ready for the future. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
What is the future?
What is the future? I don't know.
Laura Siddall, what is the future?
I would like to see as industry, that's not the right word, a sport that isn't fragmented and like confusing the hell with who's a world champion in a different distance by a different organization, and that we all worked together to get standardized rules and things like that. But yeah, that's not going to happen either. So that's not the future either.
That reminds me of the other thing that pissed me off last week.
I feel like this is Kelly's confession box.
I know, yeah, this is like just ranting.
We'll have this of all of your sins, Kelly.
Yeah.
This is related. Okay, so someone forwarded me that Macca is starting a 100K, 100-mile unified world championship to bring the sport of ultra running together because there's too many different championships. And I was like, how is this different than the UTMB World Series, than the World Trail Majors, than the International Association of Ultra Running? Like, it sounds exactly like what you're saying, Sid, that we just are like adding another thing and declaring another world championship.
Why is Macca doing that anyway? Like, what's he got to do with ultra running?
I think he decided, I mean, obviously it's booming and there's money to be made.
Yeah.
And he's not an
something
idiot.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So this was the other thing that annoyed me last week is I was like, how does this make any sense? So Okay.
Kelly,
The
take 3 deep breaths and start again.
To be fair, I feel like my dog has plenty to say about it as well at the moment. She is.
Only read the translation.
I know. He's like well up for having an argument with you.
Okay, so was there anything else we wanted to talk about from last week before we move on?
Before we move on, I only had one more question for you. You said at Swansea it was the first like allocation you've had to do with the new the age graded system. How did it work?
Yeah,
like do you still hand them out like in a award ceremony?
Yeah. So we did the podium presentations with the the age groupers, and then you move into the allocation for the World Championship slots. So because it was 70.3, we were handing out slots for Nice 2026. So 35 slots for men, 35 slots for women. It was really good and it was really easy. And you could see, so every athlete that won their age group got a guaranteed slot. And then if they didn't take the slot, it rolled to second or to third. And if it didn't go in that top 3, then it went to the performance pool. We'd few slots going to the performance pool. I think there was maybe 2 women's slots went to the performance pool, and then all the slots went pretty easy, pretty quickly. And you could see when on the system that, it might have been, so it was obviously all women's on one side. So it might have been, and I'm just taking this as a random selection. I cannot remember exactly what it was, but you might have gone into the performance pool and, in the middle of this, of the slots, so there might have been, say, I don't know, 20 slots left, and it'd be second in the women's 45 to 49. And it might then, they mightn't take it and it might go to third in the 55 to 59 category. So it did hop all over the place. I definitely think that there was a couple of women who got slots who didn't think they'd get them. They were like, there's no way I did well. There's no way I'm like 6th in my age group or something. And whatever, like, no, like you're in the pool list, you're there. But I definitely think, we will need to educate people about the opportunity to qualify for world champs. That there is opportunity to qualify, that even if you didn't come first to third in your age group, especially for the women, that there is an opportunity. The men's slots flew out the door. So it was good. And I think the feedback that I received personally on the evening afterwards was that it was a good vibe. It was a good opportunity. There was great excitement when people got the slots as well. So it was good. So I think Nice is going to be a vibe in 2026.
You can, if you're in the Ironman tracker, they have it there. When you go to look at the results of a race, you can click on age graded women or age graded men's list, and they already have it. Not like while the race is going.
Yes,
right after. Right. And so you can see, which is cool. I haven't seen it online other than in the app, but you can see it in the app. And it does look like, I looked at Swansea and then I looked at, what was the US? Musselman was this past weekend? And it does seem like it is in that like women's 30 to 34, 35, 39 is now like 5th and 6th place are getting spots, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is, whereas, before maybe they weren't, which is cool.
And it's funny as well, because we didn't know where the next slot was coming from.
Right.
So, normally it'd be like, oh, women's 30 to 34 position number 3, we're offering a slot. They don't take it. It rolls to number 4. Whereas in this one, it was like, okay, so women's, whatever the name was in the category, it rolled to a completely different age group, but it was still, a high ranking within the age group. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. It was good. It was a good vibe.
It'll be fun. It'll be cool to see. I think the first race, full Ironman race, is Kalmar with the new system. So we'll see.
No, Kalmar's still this year.
No, but it's on the 2026 list.
Oh,
for 2026 Ironman World Championship qualifying events, Kalmar, Copenhagen is where it starts.
Oh, interesting.
But how could Chelsea and Annie Haug qualify?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same for pros and age groupers.
It's
like I'm saying literally on the Ironman age group qualifying, there are 40 spots at Kalmar for 2026.
Wow.
Yeah. So it might be different for.
It's definitely the last. It's the last qualifier for the women's Kona this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. But it was definitely good. And then actually, just in terms of people validating, Sam Laidlaw is coming to Leeds next week. I'm sure we'll talk about that next week. But he's hoping to validate in Leeds.
It was.
Yeah.
No, go on, Joanne. Go on.
You know what I was going to say was there's quite a few of the male athletes who raced in Swansea who are also going to Placid this weekend. You know, there's a few of them like trying to negate maybe DNFs or get more points for a full distance by going to Lake Placid. Like Leon Chevalier finished in second place with us, but I think he didn't have a great race in Texas. So he's going to Placid. Magnus Ditlev, Leonard Arnold, Andrew Horsfall Turner of the boys. They're definitely going. And then I think Penny Slater's also on the pro start list, and she DNF'd in Swansea.
Okay.
So it's like this mad dash now at the end to try and get points.
I also think flying, to your point, like flying from the UK to the East Coast is actually like pretty fast. It's like faster than flying from the East Coast to the West Coast of US. So I think some people are like, oh, I'll just do that. But yeah, the Placid list. Okay, the Placid list is pretty deep. I was like, it's like how many women?
Yeah,
like a lot.
But if you look at the list, on that list for the women, 14 women already have their Kona slots. And there are 4 slots up for grabs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh.
I knew like Sarah True already had one. Reagan Holyoke, I can't say that, already had one. Jackie already had one. But you're saying like a
14 women already have their Kona slots, and there's 4 up for grabs in Placid.
So you should know, if you're listening to this and you're in 18th place, you could still get a Kona spot.
Yep.
Don't give up.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
That's interesting.
For the pro women now.
Yes.
That's what
yeah.
I meant.
Yeah.
How, you know, and I don't know how many age group slots are there for Placid.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know that one. Yeah.
Because it's still the old system.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I don't remember. But it is, so we have Danielle Lewis, Jackie Herring, Sarah True. Solveig is doing another one. I didn't know she was going to do another full before Kona.
So I've heard mixed rumors. She's on the start list, and I haven't had any information to say that she'd pulled out. And obviously I get kind of some of that with doing the videos for Ironman. But then I have heard from Daniela Reef, she was like, oh, I'm surprised Solveig would be doing it. But so it's whether they, I don't want to throw Solveig under the bus, whether some of the pros aren't doing it but haven't officially told anyone and haven't pulled out and haven't traveled, don't know. Or whether things haven't been updated, or whether, maybe they changed their mind and she wants to do another one before Kona. Yeah.
So technically, if she doesn't do Lake Placid, Kona will be her second full distance as a pro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is how Chelsea won
did.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
could work. It works. It could work out.
Yeah.
Placid is a good race, though. It is like, I don't know, it's a favorite in the North American circuit.
Yeah, it's kind of I actually was entered until about 2 weeks before Roth. and then now when I saw that like 14 women had got their slots, I was like, fuck, why didn't I stay in entered? And like, why did I withdraw? I could have just tried to get round. But yeah.
And you know, that actually segues nicely into actually having a chat with Sid about her career. I think it's time for an ad break.
Ad break.
Oh.
I do only have 15 minutes, unfortunately. But yeah, otherwise I feel we could go forever.
Hey Feisties, Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Prevenex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Prevenex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Prevenex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Previnex product today and you get 15% off your first order with the code FeistyTry at Previnex.com. That's FeistyTry for 15% off at Previnex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes.
Orca has been a longtime partner of Feisty Triathlon, and we've been excited to see them over the years constantly innovating to create the best wetsuits on the market. In 2022, they came out with 6 iconic wetsuits designed to enhance every swimmer's form. And now, in 2025, they've launched a second generation of those suits with advances in flexibility and freedom of movement to improve your feel for the water and reduce fatigue. Now, the Orca wetsuits are divided into 2 categories, and in each category, there are 3 suits with different characteristics and buoyancy levels. So whether you're looking for maximum buoyancy or maximum shoulder mobility or a mix of the two, Orca has a suit for you. Get ready for race season with an Orca wetsuit and use the code FEISTY15 for 15% off at orca.com. That's FEISTY15 for 15% off at orca.com. All right, we said we were actually going to talk about Sid, not just about races and what Kelly's pissed off about. Sid! So when Joanne told me that Roth is going to be your last pro race, I was like, no. But it actually was?
Yeah.
You're all done now?
Yeah. Like, it was obviously definitely going to be the last Roth, and that's kind of what I'd said, but I kind of knew deep down and had kind of made the decision, hence like the pulling out of Placid and things like that it was going to be the last race. I came into this year like with all grand ideas of like trying to get back racing, and yeah, it'd be awesome to finish in Kona one more time and it being like the women's race in Kona. And then at the start of the year, I was just like, the original plan was to do Hamburg. And then I realized I was like, I'm just not ready to do Hamburg. And then I just kind of thought, I don't think I'm good enough to go to Kona anymore. So, you know, the sports moved on and the women are getting ridiculously fast. And after the last 2 years, it's just like, yeah, I don't think like I can get back there. And so let's not, like, while it would have been nice to do that as the last race, and also it's just the end of the year.
Sure.
Roth is, and I was always going to do Roth anyway. Roth is a race that's been good to me and means a lot. So just made sense to kind of finish it there. And then it became the kind of, I don't know, fight or battle to just try and get back on the start list for Roth. Yeah.
It was so
was
simple,
it?
though.
Say again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too, is it was like, I saw a lot of videos, a lot of people crying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like I mean, my race was pretty horrendous. It was probably like the worst race of my career, which kind of makes it bittersweet. It's not really how you want to end. But I did say I timed it so that the broadcast had all finished. So it meant that everybody could be down on the finish line and they didn't have any other duties to do while I came into the stadium. So, yeah.
That's like being the last age grouper
Yeah.
and just hanging on to be the very last age grouper across the line because you get that magnificent celebration, Laura Siddall. You've been on too many finish lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was, you got everything you wanted out of Roth then?
Well, I mean, no. Like,
Sure.
you know, you have the dream and the fairy tale ending, and like I wasn't going there to win it. I know that, but finally, kind of, I had worked flipping hard for where my body was at to get to Roth and to get on the start line, and it would have been nicer to go out with a performance that reflected the training. I mean, that's what we want anyway as athletes, but just as the last one. But I kind of just think it was, in the end, it was the body and the mind just going, yeah, enough is enough. Like, that's it. Like, it's been 2 years to try and get back, and it's just, yeah, it's time to move on. We can't do this anymore, sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like Lauren Brandon, who we talked to last week, said a similar, like, I was just done. I'm done with the amount of training.
I thought it was quite interesting how Lauren Brandon said she hadn't actually been back swimming since she retired.
So I did listen to that podcast last week. I voluntarily went swimming on Tuesday. Went swimming on Tuesday, yeah. Because otherwise I'm like, I've been in my house and I've not seen anybody. I'm like, I need to go out and see some people. So yeah. So yeah, I did laugh at like Lauren hasn't been swimming, and I voluntarily went to masters on Sunset. Yeah.
So what's the plan for the summer now? So what's the plan? What's
Yeah.
Laura Siddall's diary looking like?
I mean, it's funnily enough, there's quite a lot in. I mean, I've got some. I'll be in London for T100. We've got a PTO board meeting. I've got some friends. I'm going to go to like Moab. I will be in Kona, so I am going to be in Kona to watch the women's race. So if anyone wants me to do any work and pay for my trip, that's great. And yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it's a bit early. Like I think I was saying this earlier. Like I've been back just over a week. I've not been at my own house, so it's all very like transient at the moment. Obviously, I need to work out. It's not that I didn't know this was going to happen, so it's not like I've not prepared for this, but at the same time, it's hard to do anything whilst you are still racing. So like I've been doing stuff for the last few years and just trying to have conversations with people and see what's opportunities are out there. So I just need to kind of start ramping that up and work out. There's going to be a transition period of such, because obviously you've gone from, I did work corporate, so I know what the 9 to 5 is like. I've been there.
That's what I was going to say. Are you going back to that?
No, I've been, well, I might have to. Reality might bite me in the butt and I might have to. But, you know, the last 10 years I've been lucky with the life I've had. And so there's some adjustment in terms of, well, what does training look like now? Obviously, like I still want to be fit and active and do stuff because I think that's good for me physically and mentally. But what does that look like in the day-to-day, in the week, and of earning money and that sort of thing? So there's going to be a bit of an adjustment still, like with that. And while I find out what works for me and what doesn't, and where I kind of fit in with things. So yeah, kind of.
When you were 5 and 6 years of age, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think I was wanting to be a physio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At 5?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Or and I think I went through physio, teacher, architect, but none of it was ever engineer or professional athlete. So yeah. And so none of that fits in either with what I want to do or what's like next. Like I want to stay in the sport. What that looks like, I've kind of got ideas in my head. It's just if the right thing comes up, or if if I can sell my ideas well enough to organizations, which I've been trying to do for the last 3 or 4 years and hitting brick walls and head against the sand. So yeah.
In terms of events though, Sid, is there, you know, the way we've seen, and we said this to Lauren last week as well, lots of athletes moving across into just single sport and excelling, you know, with say like Heather in the gravel.
Yeah. I'm not going to be a Heather Jackson. I love what she's...
None of us are.
No, I know. I love what she's done and what she's doing. I would like to do some trail running for sure at some point. Not like at her level, just to like, you know, I would love to go to UTMB. I think that just looks incredible.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
We should do it.
Yeah, you know, and I do want to obviously ride my bike and have adventures on my bike as such. I have got a plan idea for next year that I'm super excited about, but there's a lot of things that need to fall into place before it happens. So I will, yeah.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
But that's like something I haven't been this excited or about an event or race for a long time. So if I can pull it off, that will be the focus for next year. But not but not like triathlon, not professional triathlon. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I know. Now I've gone off in my head, Sid. You've lost me now, and I'm trying to figure out what it could be.
Well, I probably, when I get things a little bit more confirmed, I probably need to come on and talk about it because I might need some support to get there. But yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
We can be the official newsbreakers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So there we go. Yeah.
I'll put rumors on Instagram.
Yes, that's right. We're just going to put rumors out there. Yeah.
But you're staying in Boulder, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. That's the short, long-term plan, kind of short, long-term plan, much to the upsetting or dismay of my family back in the UK.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Who?
Not headed back to the UK.
Yeah.
And you started like this travel business, right?
Yeah. Okay.
How's that going?
Well, not at the moment because I haven't really focused on it. But yeah, I do need to get that up and running. That's kind of like, I guess I was seeing that as a side hustle, and I got that Ruth Astle does it. So kind of follow
Yeah,
that
I was gonna
from her.
say, yeah.
She's been really good at it and been quite sort of semi-successful so far, whereas I just need to get my arse in gear. And so that's one of the things now. In theory, I should have more time to kind of, get that up and running and seeing if I can have that as just a little thing on the side to get going. So yeah, thanks for that plug. That was good. Yeah.
It's like
Appreciate that.
to like help people plan trips or whatever, right?
Yeah. So basically, I'm a travel agent. I did the training through the UK. So I can access all the back office travel stuff to potentially get better deals on hotels, accommodation, package trips, and that sort of thing. So,
All right, so maybe you're going to become the official travel partner for professional triathletes all over the world.
that is it. Exactly. Yes. That is what I would love to do. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
a concierge service by Laura Siddall.
Exactly. That's it. So, or if people got training camps, and we can do that and that sort of thing. So, yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
That makes like, because you know how after races you're always like, why did I book the 5 a.m. flight? See, and you could save them from themselves.
Exactly. I'm normally the one that did that. I'm normally the one that did the 5 a.m. flight, though. That's one thing you definitely don't. You definitely don't do that after Roth. You definitely don't book the Tuesday early morning flight. But yeah. So yeah.
So now I have a really random question for you, right?
Yeah.
If you were to put a 4-person panel together to chat about all things women in sport and triathlon, who would get the invite? Now we're talking athletes, change makers, rebels, whoever you want, with the exception of myself and Kelly.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. God. Women in sport, triathlon, or just women in sport?
It can be whatever you want. It's Sid's panel.
Okay. I would use Steph Hansen from Wits Up days.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
From early on. I would do Kate, and I can never pronounce her surname, Verono from, I've chatted to.
She's going to be on our other podcast next week.
Oh, yeah, I've chatted to her. She's awesome. So that would be 2. Who else would I put on there? Gosh. Now I'm like struggling on. I don't know. It's funny. Do you know the other, like someone like, she would hate it and she would never agree to it, but Julie Dibbons.
Sure.
Like, I just think she's got so much to say and has some really good stuff. So that's 3. And then let's go with, so I haven't really gone for old school people. I'm a little bit more newer. I chatted to Mel McQuaid yesterday or the day before about Xterra, and she was like giving me names from like the early women in Xterra days, which was fascinating. So that sort of thing. Erin Baker. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. There would be my 4. Yeah.
Hey, that's quite a mix.
Yeah. So yeah. Mind you, I probably, if I thought about it more, I probably should have gone like further afield with women in other sports that are being like, but yeah.
We caught you completely on the hop.
Yeah.
Do you have a follow-up question, Joanne, or was that just?
I was going to say, can we make that happen? Because that.
Yeah. I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
I think it sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to do Sid more commentating like Joanne? I'm like pointing to both of you. I'm like, you guys do your talking.
I would love to do more commentating. I would love to do more race commentating. This year I've been fortunate. Unfortunately, I've not done any race commentating, which has been a shame, but I have been fortunate to do the A Fighting Chance videos for the Pro Series and also the Athletic Brewing post-race reports and also the voiceover for the Iron Will Series, which is very funny because I'm like, I do not have this like dramatic American voice. And it's funny when you're doing it, you think you're being really expressive, like over the top expressive. And then you hear it back and you're like, oh, wow, that's like quite dull. So
I don't think anyone could ever class you as dull.
But that sort of thing's been really interesting and I've enjoyed it. But yeah, I would love to do more of the presenting, commentating, speaking side of things. So yeah, if anyone's listening and wants me to do that, please, hit me up.
Hey, Joanne, when you're announcing a race and someone's commenting on the broadcast, can you guys hear each other?
Yes, so we could hear each other on Sunday, but we turned the volume down. So we turned the music. I think we actually turned the music off completely. And then we just had Matt on the finish line, but we were within like 10 meters of each other. But so you don't want to miss the other athletes that are coming down the finish line. I think from what I recall in Nice and Kona, I think we actually live broadcast the hyper ice recovery out to the crowd.
That's cool.
But definitely in Swansea, we didn't. It was just taped, I think, and to camera directly. That was my first standalone Pro Series race, so it was really interesting. I loved it. I actually loved it. Doing the hyper ice recovery and bits and pieces like that afterwards, and all the facts and information that I had in my head was just like, oh my God, it was like studying for a state exam.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, Joe. And I love that about you and the commentary that you do, is that you do the research and you do the work, and you will spend your hours and hours looking at data, facts and figures. And there's a few other commentators that will do that as well. And then there's a few, and I'm not going to mention names, but there are a few that don't. And I think
really,
it's a shame.
Talking.
Yeah,
it's all Instagram.
Yeah, but yeah,
It takes time though.
yeah, it does, and to do it properly, and like, I feel for commentating and to take it to the next level to make the sport interesting, it's not just saying what you see on screen of like this athlete's pedaling at this whatever and whatever that means. It's telling the human interest stories around that athlete and behind that. So yeah.
You guys were both saying that the behind the scenes research has also gotten really intense, which I have long wondered when triathlon was going to get more of that, like, because I don't know if you guys know like what goes into like a basketball or a baseball broadcast, like binders and binders of research. It sounds like we're starting to get that a little bit.
Wasn't so much the binders. I guess it was the first time I had actually seen the documentation that they put together that the broadcasters would have. Like, there's quite a lot of information, but even the research, like we've a new member of the team who's based in the UK who put an awful lot of that work together, I think for this particular race. But it's fascinating to see the amount of information and to see the stories behind the athletes as well, that were, that somebody is actually looking at all this information. Because sometimes I suppose part of our job, and same with you, Laura, as well, for the people watching live on the broadcast, it's actually educating people about the athletes and sharing the personal story, but also keeping them engaged, because you can't just keep talking about an empty finish line for 40 minutes before the first athlete comes down the finish line. So you're telling the story of the likes of Harry Palmer, who won the race on Sunday, who raced in Jönköping a week before and finished fourth behind Sam Dickinson, who he was now beating in Swansea.
And I'm glad you're the only person that could pronounce that race. I am so glad that race was not a Pro Series race and that I had to try and announce it at any point.
Now, a fun fact, Laura, Kelly raced at Jönköping.
And that's how I know how to pronounce it. And I told her. So there you go.
See, this is a big learning opportunity. It's a big learning tool for all of us. She learned about you retiring. I learned about Jönköping.
All right. I know you have to go because you have lots of meetings, but tell us, what is the one thing left that you want to do this year?
Like in life?
Sure, in life. No, but I meant like triathlon.
What's the one thing I want to do?
Yeah, like if you're like, because you have a lot of plans, you're trying to figure it out. You're going to be in Kona. We know that. Do you have like a thing?
I would, okay.
Swim to the coffee boat.
Yeah.
Is that
See some turtles. That would be cool in Kona. And some dolphins. Do you know what? I always want to do that. I want to ride like the sea to summit of the volcano, but that's all hybrid ideas. Okay, maybe boy. I would love to see Scott Deroux and all the pro women in one room in Kona discussing the future of the sport.
That would be interesting.
There we go.
Kelly's little whirring brain.
Oh, I'm like, I would like to see that too, but man, I don't know.
Interesting. So, as it's curious, we said Scott Deroux was at Challenge Roth.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was.
You know how we know that? He posted it on his own Instagram. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is a super big secret." I'm like, guys, it's not a secret. He posted it on his own Instagram.
It wasn't a secret.
It's not a secret.
No.
Yeah.
It was great to see. It's good. It's good for the sport.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us, Sid, and Joanne, do you have any other questions?
No, I've thrown too many curveballs already tonight.
Yeah, we'll just have a whole other show all about gossip.
It's not long to Kona.
Yeah. Perfect.
My
All right, thanks,
ties.
Sid. And yeah, we'll talk again soon.